So I did some research and realized, you know what? No, the only option here is to like repeat. It was tough, lost some friends along the way. So the marks improved. I managed to go to grade 11, grade 12. God has different timing for everyone. So
Amen to that.
never give up, don't throw in the towel. Because if you do, then you lose the battle, first of all. So for people who think they've done it on a broader scale and maybe they're not successful, don't think like that, because you know that broader scale achievement or qualification, it might come in handy in future.
Hey, Drippers, and welcome to the 4th episode of Dripponomics Podcast, live from Sense Studios. I am your host with the most, Miss K, and I'm here with the favorite co-host.
Alan, aka the biggest City fan out there, the usual, right? So Ntwana, we are moving, eh?
Hey,
We're getting to the milestone, nyana, 10 episodes, nyana.
Nah,
We're getting there.
I feel
almost
it.
halfway. Almost
I feel
halfway.
it.
4th episode, we're moving.
and I feel like also towards us moving, we're also evolving as people
Yeah.
because as much as we are having these guests, we're also learning. We're also getting more knowledge on, things that we didn't think they were important. For
Imagine,
example,
last
episode
time, got text.
Exactly. It was
whole- we're
tax,
getting
it was
there.
finances. We learned about Mr. Driponomics, Mr. China.
Being an entrepreneur,
You know?
So, yeah.
So I feel like also today's episode is such an important episode because what I love about this episode is that our guest, he's very different from what we've had. Like in terms of the educational background, he went it like very different. He didn't go
Yeah.
like formal education, your UJ. He was just like, no, I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing my own thing. So, with that being said, today's topic is basically like investing in your craft and how investing in your craft can lead to you becoming this amazing person that you are. And we did not forget about Miss GU in the building.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
You're good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. So today's guest, Ndanane, again. I love the fact that these people are so young and they're doing like
They're doing very well.
they're doing
Yeah.
21.
Imagine.
21. Ne, 21.
Yeah.
Ne? He has a license in piloting. That's number one. And in terms of how he arrived to that, ne, he also have, I think, engineering and also that aspect. But we'll hear more about it when he comes into the field. Okay.
Yeah.
So today we have Mr.
Tumisang Matlaheng.
Hey, round of applause, please, please. Hi, Tumisang. How
Hi,
are
hi.
you?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we are
thank you.
honored. We are
Thank you
honored.
to the Driponomics team, for making this possible. Yeah, I'm excited. Happy to be
Now,
here.
we thank you for being here.
Yo, we are
Yeah, no
very
problem.
excited. We are
we
very
thank you for
excited.
being here.
So, Driponomics, we're all about the winning mindset again. We deal with the triple W's. So, just to break the ice, who are you? What do you do? And why do you do it?
Okay, well, who am I? Well, I'm Tumisang, but I go by the name of Tumi. I'm 21, born and raised in Pretoria 012 in the house. Yeah.
Pirara?
What do I do? Well, I have a profession in an aircraft pilot, and I'm also an aircraft engineer. I'm currently employed at one of the top 3 airlines in the country.
More
So,
now.
yeah, nah. Shout out to God for that. and,
Oh,
shout out to God for that. Yeah, thank you. And then why do I do it? Well, I've always had a passion for flying. So since a young age, living close to the airport, I just had to make sure I lock in and, make sure I get it done. So yeah, that's me. Yeah.
So I saw something about you, like being someone who loves doing volunteering work
Yeah.
and
yeah.
all those things. How did that come about, and how has it helped you?
How's it helped me? That's a good question. So ever since I was young, but mostly in my high school career, I had loving parents, but they always tried to, guide me in the right direction, not just to focus on the books and stuff, but try and focus on the practical side of things. So it always suggests like whether you go volunteer at the community center or whatever, just always be involved, try get your hands dirty and stuff. So what I would always do on weekends during high school, I'd go to the airport close to the house, I'd just volunteer there. There's a flight school there, I'd just help, fixing the planes, just to familiarize myself with the things, So yeah, I think it really helped. It shaped me, just to be proactive,
Yeah.
especially with the job hunting. As job hunting is tough,
It's
but
tough, yeah.
you know, it just helped me to always try and make something happen and not wait for it to be done for me. So, yeah,
Oh,
I think
that's
that's what
beautiful.
happened. Yeah.
So obviously, with the besides the volunteering side, I just want to talk about the investment in which you did to become the person that you are. Grade 10 comes, and then you fail.
Yeah, it was tough. It was
Yeah.
tough.
So you fail grade 10, and kind of feel like pure maths.
Keep your mates. Wait, pure mates, guys. Pure mates, it's like a mawas, am I right?
Ne?
No, we made a plan. We made a plan.
Yeah. So, you know, as a child, whole grade 10, and then you failed, you're seeing the Tumisang going forward.
Yeah.
Ne? How did that not like demotivate you into becoming the person that you are, and also taking that route, the traditional route that we all take, matric, apply, go to varsity? So can you just like give us a backstory on how you were able to overcome that and how you got into in your flight school and so yeah.
Okay, so grade 10, ne? Yeah, no, that one was a crazy one. That was a crazy one. So, just a little backstory. Ketomile grade 8, Boma 2017. I'm a bit blurry with the dates. So, if I started in 2017, I was supposed to matriculate in 2021, I think. So, yeah, grade 8, grade 9, you know, we're pushing, we're working hard, you know, we're studying. Come grade 9,
I was playful in those days.
that's exactly what I was doing. So I wasn't really like a person with the book. So come grade 10, you have to choose subjects. So now, me, I was thinking, Boma math late, you know,
Yeah.
tourism, you know, subjects that are a little bit, you know,
Come here.
yeah, you don't lose sleep over it. Then my parents are like, no, it's fine, you can do it. But don't forget, Toroena, you like planes and stuff. So you're going to need maths and science and other subjects for that. So
Ish.
sharp, grade 10 comes. I push grade 10. The first year of grade 10, sharp, I push. End of the year, marks were good, the other ones, but maths was not good enough to progress. So sharp, going home that day, it was tough. It was tough.
Can you
It was a
imagine?
tough day, but I sat down with my parents. They're like, no, it's fine. Because it wasn't actually a fail, but it was like they were saying, you can go to grade 11, but you're going to have to drop pure maths. So I was like, okay, do I drop pure maths and then the piloting and those things, will they allow me?
Yeah.
So I did some research and realized, you know what, no, the only option here is to like repeat. To repeat the grade. I managed up repeating the grade. It was tough, you know, lost some friends along the way.
Ish.
But it's life, you know, at least now I have a story to talk about. So how's fun.
Something inspirational.
Yeah, how's fun. Even Remo says life I bad, guys. So
I that
I
bad.
had bad, you know, look now. So I repeated grade 10. Look, it was a very good year. I think I was in the top 10 for the year in that year of repeating. So yeah.
Hard work and dedication.
Yeah, it was hard work and dedication. So the marks improved. I managed to go to grade 11, grade 12. Come grade 12, now I had to decide, do I actually go and apply or do I just push this piloting full time? So during that whole process, my parents were very, very supportive. You know,
Shout
they
out
were
to your
not like
parents.
they were not like forcing me to go study,
Study,
and all those things. So I really appreciate that. So grade 12, I applied to further my studies in piloting. So I attended a flight school and I actually completed the license in like 6 months. Even till this day, my dad is like, you know, I don't know how you completed that first license in 6 months. He's like, my friend,
Yeah.
I don't know what you were pushing there. So
When steroids.
usually it takes like Boma 12, 18, even 24 months to complete that thing because it's not an easy thing to learn. So yeah, I completed that in 6 months. That was 2023, I think. The rest of 2023, I continued with my volunteering, but I couldn't really do job hunting because there was more licenses to push. And, you know, the finances, they were not being tricky, but my dad was like, okay, if you're going to do this, make sure, Hore, you know, there's a job lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, let me research a bit. Like I said, they were supportive. Shout out to them. Researched a bit and I realized, okay, you know what? Why don't I just learn how to fix the planes instead of knowing how to fly them? Because I was trying to perfect my skill. So I
Okay.
was like, nah, let me search up some schools that can teach me how to fix these planes. I found a school in Joburg. Yeah, attended there, applied. The marks were good anyway, so they accepted me. Spent 1 year there learning how to fix planes. 2024 last year. Then, this year, attended interviews. I'm employed now. So you can see from the
God.
repeating and the failing of grade 10, God had a different plan for me. So yeah, just trust the process, guys, and yeah, things will fall into place.
Yeah.
So, like she said, like the perception around doing metric,
Yeah.
going to UJ, UCT, NWU, and all
Okay.
those things, like there's always a narrative that they push or after metric should go here.
Yeah.
After how did you handle the pressure of knowing hore this is not where I wanna go.
Yeah.
I'm taking this
This
road
route.
This road, yeah.
instead of the other one, instead of the normal one.
Especially because your marks were that good. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, so how did I know? It wasn't an easy decision because sometimes, it's a calling, man. Sometimes, let's say, because I know finances is, finances is a tricky thing, but sometimes you just know, "Hore, this is the thing I want to do. And yeah, if it doesn't work, there's no such thing. It has to work because I have to push. So when I made that decision, or I want to go into aviation like full on, I just knew, or no matter what happens, I'm coming out with a win. So I think it was just a mindset thing. And I think also, I had supportive friends, I had a supportive circle as well. So shout out to them, they didn't really try and peer pressure me into going into uni and those things, yeah. So yeah, once you know it's your thing and you don't really think about many other things, I think just go for it.
Yeah.
It'll work for sure.
Okay. So you spoke a lot about research, and I'm guessing this is where social media comes into play, right?
sure.
So in today's generation, we use social media for the bad and the good. Obviously, there's the bad and the good in everything that we do. So how did you then, looking at how your volunteering work, I'm guessing your parents didn't encourage you to be so much on social media. So who were some of the people that you looked up to as you were doing your research and all of that?
Yeah, so a couple of people I'll name. There's some famous woman on Instagram. I think her handle is Pilot on the Gram. So yeah, her story. I mean, females in this industry, it's very tough for them to succeed.
It's
So,
right to find
Yeah.
them.
so yeah, now her journey is very interesting. Like she came from humble beginnings and then managed to become a pilot as well. And then another person, Tumelo or Tumi Maklasi, Tumi Tribaska TC on social media. Yeah, so they were really inspiring, and I think that kind of research helped me to see, or it's actually possible for a child to actually do this. It's not really out of reach. So yeah, I think social media, finding out who can sponsor, this. I also found out on social media that the CAA or the Civil Aviation Authority offers bursaries for people with good marks to, pursue this piloting thing. So you tend to learn that it's actually not a finance thing. It's just a thing of just making sure you do what you can, and then things will align in front. And then obviously, yeah, social media, research, volunteering, hearing from other people as well.
Yes.
You learn a lot instead of just having your own opinions
Yeah.
and stuff. So
You know, there's a kid out there wanting to be like Tumi. And then we don't know a lot about like the aircraft industry.
Yes.
Like we are not exposed to these things.
To it a lot.
What do you wanna be when you grow up? I wanna be a doctor, I wanna be an accountant, I wanna be a lawyer, all of those things. But then how would you say, I mean, if that kid is here in front of you now, what would you tell him
Or her.
or her, and excuse,
Yeah.
which route would you rather tell them to take, when they want to like pursue this journey?
yeah, so firstly, what I'll tell them is, never give up.
Yeah.
No matter the circumstances, God has different timing for everyone. So
Amen to that.
yeah, what I'll tell them, never give up, don't throw in the towel. Because if you do, then you lose the battle, first of all. So yeah, push Antoana, never give up. In terms of which journey should they take, looking back in hindsight now, perhaps, even though it seems like I've done a lot, perhaps I could have, added some short courses in that field. Because I know varsity, they offer, I think, aviation degrees, I think, aeronautical engineering or something like that. So if you have good marks and maybe the finances aren't allowing, push us something in the meantime, push on aeronautical engineering or degree of some sort. Then dilo di tla kopana ko pele, so yeah, don't give up. in the meantime, just keep pushing, and things will align in front. So yeah, that's what I would tell a young child in front of me now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with investing in your craft, I would like to believe that there were significant people that played a role in your life, and I also like to think that teachers, after failing grade 10, I'd like to believe that there was that one teacher
Yeah.
who was like, you know what, Tumisang, if you muchimanak,
Yeah.
you know how they go. If watama so, then hutoluka. So how, like, if the word that person in your life, like, what would you say to them right now to the camera? And but again, how did they change your life?
Yeah, nah. Shout out to my LO teacher. He was one of the teachers that, like, even when I repeated, he was always there supporting me. He always knew what my ambitions were. So he was like, you're gonna get this thing, and when you do, take me out for a flight. So if he's watching this, just let's operate. But
Yeah.
nah, teachers play a big role in kids' lives. It's easy to demotivate them or motivate them. So I think, the teachers around me and also friends, they played a big role just supporting me, and my craft and making sure that I don't give up. So yeah, I really, really appreciate them and what they did for me. So yeah.
When we come to the workspace, we all have like expectations or imaginations of how our first day will be like,
Yeah.
of how the life in the workspace will be like. How different was your imagination from
reality.
from reality or the experience that you had when you first got into the workspace?
That's a good question. So my expectations, me, I was expecting, or I studied, I did a lot. So I get close and yeah, I get
Kenny
you get there, they're like, fun. You're still a small boy.
Sit
Oh,
down.
sit down. Just relax, just relax.
Yeah.
So I just arrived. So yeah, man, I think the reality is, even though, either you're learning at uni and, you have all this knowledge and practical experience, when you get to the workplace, it's different because, they have to teach you to adjust to the work culture and all those things. So I think if I were to give people advice and just, some thoughts, just go there with an open mind. Yes, obadi, yes,
Yeah.
upushi, all the expectations are, di tlo fihla, mara when that's another, have an open mind, you're going to learn a lot that way instead of thinking, you know everything.
Yeah, if you're like a Mr. Know It All,
if you Mr. Know It All, then
yeah.
you won't go far. So, but if you get in there, because what I did, I got in there, like, now I'm working at an airline now, so
Yeah.
I'm fixing the planes and stuff. So I got in there, they didn't even know most of them or I can fly. So they thought I just came to fix.
To
fix. So you don't act like you know everything, and they're gonna be welcoming. They're gonna take you in. They're gonna teach you all the ways on how to do things, how they do things. Then that's the best way to learn. So yeah, just go in there with an open mind. Yeah, and everything.
So, Kamko, as you're saying, Khare, they thought you're just here to fix,
Yeah.
not to fly.
Yeah.
So, is the end goal still to fly the
Yeah.
planes?
No, definitely, still to fly the planes. Actually, I had a chat with one of my supervisors yesterday because he's like, because he only recently just found out or I can fly. He's like, Fetu, why didn't you come and fly in the first place? I'm like, nah, my friend,
Step by step.
Step by step.
rush. You understand? So
In a hurry, nah.
it doesn't want in a hurry. So I'm like, step by step, let me try master my craft first. Then we'll get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you just come here to learn in general, and then things will push from there. But yeah,
I like what you said by working on your craft. I feel like a lot of us are so impatient.
Yeah.
We rush into doing things, just want to get into the working space. Jiggy, you are doing this and doing that.
yeah,
I like how you're approaching things in terms of you want to work on yourself. Imagine you got there, they didn't even know.
You
this
can
guy
fly.
And when they ask, we are like, I'm still working on my craft.
Eish.
I'm not rushing into things. So I really like that mindset.
yeah,
That is such a positive mindset. And I think for like from the previous episode and this episode, like one thing I'm learning is that having a positive mindset, having a positive mindset. Because even after all the failures that you had to go through, you still kept on like, you know what? I'm still going for this, So we also have a little game for you, right? A little bit different.
Little bit different, okay.
Yeah. So Okay, let me just. Do you want to say something before we start?
Nah, not really. But
Okay.
then I'm fascinated in terms of like we know Revela, that thing is huge.
Yeah.
The airplanes and all those things.
Yes.
Mara, like how huge are those things? Like
Those things are huge, man. Those
Ish.
things are huge. So even when you stand next to them, it's like you can't really.
yeah, an end.
Yeah, just an end. You can't really imagine that these things go up and they carry so many people and stuff. But if I can just add on your last point, where you guys were saying, I get into the workplace and anything. So I think when you're studying and everything, some people have expectations, or because I studied this much, or because I have this PhD or this
yes.
honors, I deserve this position.
Oh.
So now from all the grade 10 and failing, I realized that, you must be willing to start from the bottom, just to get in. And then eventually you'll get to where your achievements and qualifications, what you think you deserve. Eventually you'll get there. So just a word of advice, now PhD, marono CEO or something along those lines.
That's not
Just
how
get
it
in
works.
first, yeah. Then things di clock from there.
Wait, one day, yeah, Manchester.
Yeah.
I'm going to
yeah,
Manchester.
Yeah.
I want to mean seat.
Yeah.
Should be the one
Yeah,
flying
definitely.
that thing.
Definitely. Now we'll do that, man.
Okay, just to tap on like a little bit on what you said. I would like to believe Jorge, you did your 1 year, and then maybe like there's someone from varsity I feel like, yo, now I did it on a broader scale. I would like to believe. So has there ever been a case where you have maybe someone who has done it more years than you, and they feel like, why is Tumisang getting this position and I am not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on a broader scale, I think there's still people who are successful on a broader scale, but I think this industry specifically, they don't really look at how long you've studied. Since it's a skill thing, they just want to see if you have basic knowledge and
Okay.
you studied a bit. Then they'll take you in, then they'll teach you the ropes and teach you the skills. Then you'll learn from there over the years and over the time. So for people who think they've done it on a broader scale and maybe they're not successful, don't think like that, because that broader scale achievement or qualification, it might come in handy in future.
In future.
Yeah, so you never know, guys. So life, yeah. You
So,
never know.
like doing it on a broader scale, it's like maybe going to uni. But then now I'd like to ask Corey, like, which one do you think is better?
Yeah.
Like broader scale
Or
or getting the experience via the course?
Ash, tricky question, huh? Ash, so I don't think there's any better one. I think, and I don't want to contradict myself here, I think they go hand in hand, because
Okay.
a degree without any skill or practical experience, there's not much you can do
yeah.
with that qualification. And then also on the other side, a skill without any theory or knowledge-based learning, kancane, it also becomes,
Yeah,
you just have
very
a
vague.
skill. Yeah, there's not much you can do with it. So if you have one, build on it. If you have a degree, like I said, master the art of volunteering. Just, waking up one day, let's say, for example, you're studying, I don't know, electrical engineering or something like that. If there's free time in your studies, I know, batho ba pusha mo engineering courses, nako I think. But if there is, and you don't have much time, much things to do with the time that you have, just go to any company. What's the worst that can
that
happen?
could happen.
happen.
Yeah,
They
you have
could
nothing
just say
to
no.
lose.
But if they say yes, you'd be pushing your degree and
Yeah,
also
Barry, you miss 100% of the shots you
exactly,
don't take.
exactly. So if
Yeah.
you don't shoot a shot, then not much is gonna happen. So yeah, volunteering is basically not working for money. You're just going
Yeah.
there and asking guys, please, squeezing
Squeezing
in. I
in.
want to learn, and squeezing in. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So would you ever consider going to varsity now?
Definitely. That's why I don't have one opinion, one size.
One-sided,
Exactly, because we're all here to learn. At the end of the day, you can't really know everything, but what you can do is you can improve. So maybe in future, len na ke tlo tsena varsity part time or full time.
Yeah, re tla bona.
But yeah, definitely I wanna study further.
But then since like there's not a lot of information out there about like
Aviation.
about aviation and all those things. Like I'd like to know financially, like how much does it require, and then also like maybe go into telling us
Where
things
do
to
you
look at.
apply?
Yeah, when you
Yeah,
apply
that's
and all
a
of those
good
things.
question. That's a good question. So we talking piloting or just in general aviation? Okay, in general aviation. So yeah, finances a bit tricky, but like I said, if you can just focus on your marks, there are many bursary
Bursaries.
opportunities out there. Sponsors or even student loans that you can pay off over quite a period of time. So
Yeah.
yeah, the information is there. It's called the CAA or sacaa.co.za. You can find the forms there for um, sponsorships and bursaries. They basically sponsor every field, whether it's piloting or fixing the planes, or even drone pilots, the people who like playing with
Drones and
drones. So
stuff.
if I can give you that information, I think that'll help. And then where do you apply? You basically apply to flight schools, or there are sort of schools that they'll teach you on how to fix the planes, and then we're not no a sponsorship or bursary then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's quite a few people where I was studying last year, fixing the planes, basically aircraft engineering. I'd say we had about 4 or 5 classes, and then 1 or 2 classes of them are sponsored by TITA or the government funding these students that want
Yeah.
to learn and even giving them stipends. But obviously, it depends on the marks and applying and there. So yeah, sacaa.co.za. You can find more information on applying there. Otherwise, there's another student loan thing called Student Hero, I think. Can also assist with the finances and applying things. But for now, all you can control is the marks. Make sure your marks are good and everything. Then fit.
Just an interesting question, ne? We've seen there was a time where SAA Nebale it bankrupt, and then the government had to bail it out.
Yeah.
What could potentially lead to like an airline being bankrupt, because people are still traveling,
Yeah.
people are getting onto those planes,
sure.
So why that?
For sure. I think I can't really comment much on that, but I
Okay.
think what I can say for an airline to go into such tricky things, I think if I was to speculate, I would say maybe it's finances, maybe hiring too much or perhaps paying too much or things along those lines. So if I were to speculate, I'd guess it's things like that, but I'm really not sure on the specifics as to why an airline would go bankrupt and yeah, stuff like that. But it's coming back now.
Yeah.
It's coming back. So it wasn't gone forever. So
Yeah.
it's pushing again. So
That's good.
Yeah.
So we know already like one of your ambitions is to like fly the planes and all those things. Other than flying the planes, do you have like any other ambitions or anything that you wanna achieve and thingy?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So currently, I'm developing an interest in like agriculture or farming with cows. So yeah, I find that really interesting. So that's where you asked me a question: would I want to study further? So maybe that's where I could tap into, but at a
okay.
later
That's
stage,
nice.
just to gain some knowledge in that. But for now, I want to push where I am now, and just try and make myself proud and all those who supported me so far. So yeah.
Okay, I just wanna, clear maybe some misconception when it comes to flying of the planes. I would often hear people saying you have to have a good eyesight. Do they do those eye tests?
Yeah. They do those eye tests, but even
Okay.
people with glasses can fly planes. So just because you wear glasses doesn't mean it
You-
won't be
you can.
possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also the other part, since you're also on the fixing side of the planes, what could potentially lead to a plane crashing?
Perhaps it's all about discipline and being honest.
Okay.
So if you grew up, just doing things for the sake
Think
of
of
doing
doing
it,
things.
you could perhaps tie the wrong bolt or forget a spanner in the engine, but that hardly happens because where we work now, we work with manuals and we make sure that we follow things step by step.
Step,
So that's why flying is one of the safest ways to travel. So you very rarely get those kind of situations happening because they teach you how to follow things step by step. And if you do forget something, it's most likely you are not paying attention in the first place. So, yeah, but yeah, that really happens. Things or perhaps engineers making mistakes that cause planes to crash. So, yeah.
So we have a little game now for you since you are an airline person.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a this or that.
This
Mara
But
airline
airline
edition.
edition.
Okay, nah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, so the big one, Vele.
Yeah.
Fly Emirates or Qatar Airways.
Emirates. Emirates
Why?
all the way. It's from Dubai. I want to go to Dubai one day, so it has to be Emirates, 100%.
So maybe let's come into Africa. I think one of the best, Kenya. I think I saw Kenya and Rwanda. I think
Rwanda.
yeah, I think I saw them as one of the top
Yeah.
in Africa. So which one do you prefer?
I'd say Rwanda because the way they're growing right now, they're doing quite well for themselves. So, and it seems like a good country as well,
Okay.
from what I see on YouTube and stuff. So yeah, Rwanda. I don't know much about Kenya, but
So
Okay.
what do you think maybe we can learn from them?
from them, Rwanda, the economy is doing well. So I think what we can learn, how do we handle things like from the high levels? Because so far, like I said, the economy is growing well. So yeah, Rwanda is doing well for themselves, and I think we can learn a thing or two from them. So yeah.
Okay. I think we should bring it back home.
Oh,
Home. Okay. So SAA since it's coming back,
yeah.
or Mango Airlines.
SAA or Mango? It has to be SAA because I mean it's the nation's
Ne-
nation's carrier, and
Yeah.
Mango, yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Turkish Airlines
Yeah,
or British Airways?
Turkish or British? British.
Why? Because British, I've seen a lot of complaints about it
Yeah,
in most cases.
British because nakuya London, guys. Naki hutsibuima, guys. Nakuya London. So yeah, British Airways because I mean they fly nice planes. Turkish Airlines, I'm not sure if I'd want to live in Turkey and learn a foreign language and all that thing. So just to be comfortable and speak English like everyone else, yeah, British Airways for me.
Okay. Okay. This one is not like an airline. Matter business class or normal.
Normal, our business, guys.
Yeah.
I haven't flown business or anything, but if I get the chance, our business. Because I know the service is different. You see the pictures and everything. People are living life there. So, yeah, business all the way. One day is one day.
One day is one day.
One day is one day.
So as you're fixing, those planes, like, do you ever go inside them?
Yeah, no, definitely. We have to go inside them and, make sure that they're all safe for the passengers when they come and fly. There's certain teams that clean up when the plane comes in. And so, yeah, we never send a plane out if it's not safe or anything. So, yeah, we do have to go inside the planes and make sure everything is good to go.
Before we wrap,
Yeah.
okay. I think before we wrap up and closing of the show,
Yeah.
do you sometimes look back and be like, if I didn't invest into my craft this much, would I still be here?
All the time because even like in my journey, like if I look back and think, okay, if I didn't actually repeat grade 10, where would I be now? Would I even be where I am now, or would I be doing something that maybe I wouldn't like to do? So yeah, I always look back and you just have to say thank you to God that life goes the way it goes. 'Cause
Yes.
sometimes things happen so quick, you don't even have time to make a decision. You just go.
You're not even present.
Yeah, not even present or prepared to. I wanna do this. You just find yourself there. Then life happens. Then things diaklakana. Then you realize, God was operating. God was operating. So yeah, I look back all the time.
Thingy, what would you say to that grade 10 child who just failed,
Yeah.
who's struggling with studies and all those things?
Especially pure maths.
Yeah, if you look at them now,
Yeah.
what would you say to them and be like, you keep going, you can do this?
Yeah, just say, just keep going. Like never give up because you never know where you may end up in life. So just focus on what you can control. Kaiti maths is hard. That's why Dreponomics tutorials is here. Even in university, it's there to help you. So yeah, just keep going. If you need help, ask for help. They'll be there to assist, but don't suffer it alone. It's doable. Yeah. If others can do it, you can do it. So yeah, just keep pushing.
Okay. So thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming to the show. I think we've learned so much. Like there's so many key things that I took away, especially learning more about the aviation side because we are always so narrow-minded on, it's either a doctor or lawyer or what. So
Accountant,
especially
all those
if
things.
from someone who's from Pretoria, I'm proud. Like
you
I'm
so
proud. Kopa one day
Yeah.
on a plane, ilan the kopira.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
For sure.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And thank you, Drippers, for tuning into
thank
the
you so
episode. And if you've made it to here, just comment, I want to be flew by.
Yeah.
Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
But thank you guys. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Dripponomics Tutorials. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share with someone that you think they might be interested in aviation or even if you are yourself interested in aviation. So thank you so much for tuning in and we can't wait to have you again on the next episode. But for now,
Peace.
goodbye. Bye-bye.